I know I'm a man and I don't bleed from my front bum, so you're not going to want to hear this. If you're a woman losing fat and becoming fitter, this might be one of the most important videos you ever watch, because I'm going to show you what you should be eating and training every phase of your cycle to get the best results. Firstly, I just want to say this is not going to be the same for every woman, because everyone's cycle is different. This is based on data and my experience of training women from over a decade. The average cycle is 28 days, broken up into 4 phases. I'm going to put a little image above just so you can follow along as I talk about each phase. If you can understand these 4 phases and what you should be doing each one of them, it's going to make training, your life, your pain, and everything to do with your period and your cycle easier. Imagine knowing which week you should be pushing really hard in the gym and exercise, and which week you should be pulling back because you've got a chance of getting injured. You're about to find out. And if you want fat loss explained in an easy, simple way, follow this page. Let's start with phase 1, the week of the Red Wedding, if you're a Game of Thrones fan. This is where your hormones are at the lowest, and this is where most women feel their worst. The best things to eat are red meat, leafy greens, oily fish like salmon and mackerel, and nuts. We want foods high in zinc, magnesium, and omega-3s. Coconut oil can also be added to that list too. If you ate these foods, your cramps would be less and you would deal with your period a lot easier. You can also get supplements if you don't eat these types of foods. You might be asking, where does chocolate come into this? And my head's gonna be on a stick for this. I know I'm a man and I don't bleed from my front bum, so you're not gonna wanna hear this, but chocolate doesn't actually help in terms of the science when it comes to your period. Now I know you're gonna argue, but it helps me mentally, fine. Have it, but it isn't gonna help your cramps. Training during this time should be played by ear. You're gonna feel a little bit off. So realistically, you should listen to your body. Don't go if you don't need to. And you definitely shouldn't be pushing for personal best. The follicular phase, that's hard to say. This is where people feel their best. Training should be pushed as hard as you can this week. This is where your hormones are working with you, not against you. Same with work tasks. If you have any big tasks or big projects or big things that you've been putting off and you need to get done, this is the week to do it. Your mental clarity will be better. You will feel sharper and the task at hand won't feel as big. If you wanted to hit a PB in the gym this week, I would go for it. Your food should complement all of the training and all the tasks that you have on hand this week. Getting carbs in your diet is going to be the best thing for you. Pastas, rices, lentils, all great carbs, unprocessed. They're going to give you lots of energy to support your training. The luteal phase next. Keeping your diet in line with your current goals should be quite easy to stick to. As your hormones switch, you start to burn more fat than you did carbs on the last phase. So you might find doing cardio is easier than lifting weights. But I would again play it by ear. Your body might feel good. Everyone's different. So you might find that doing strength training is still as good as it was last phase. But most people find that they're better hitting a PB with cardio than they would be hitting a PB in the gym. Your digestion will probably start to slow down because your progesterone is on the way up. So looking after your gut is pretty important in this time. Making sure you chew your food thoroughly. Stay hydrated and have lots of high protein foods. 0% yogurts, protein shakes, lean meats, lean fish, protein snacks. You might find that your cravings are quite high too. So eat less processed food. Unprocessed carbohydrate like rice, lentils, grains, beans are great too. And high protein will keep you fuller for longer, meaning you'll snack less on chocolate, which is obviously not great for fat loss, guys, come on. Lastly, we're on the premenstrual stage. This is where, again, your body, your hormones are starting to drop off. People might say to you, well, you're a bit hormonal. They're wrong, because your hormones are at the lowest point they will be throughout your whole cycle. So tell them to stick it. You might find you want to train, you might find you won't. I would probably say go do light walks, go to the gym if you want to. Just base it on how you're feeling. But one thing we can guarantee, exercise is great for PMS symptoms. So it's gonna help, but just reduce the intensity right down. Again, your hunger's gonna be super high. So you wanna stick to foods that are really filling: eggs, lean meats, unprocessed carbohydrate, high protein snacks, fruit like apples, bananas, and any other fruit that you can get your hands on. These are gonna be better to snack on than a chocolate bar because they're gonna fill you up with fiber. Then you won't need to eat again and again and again while you're feeling these cravings. Dieting the same as a man could be the reason your results are slow right now. Your menstrual cycle, as you can see above, is a very complex system. And you need to treat it phase by phase to get you to a point where you're working with your body, not against it. It's also gonna stop the heartache when you're not seeing results because the weight is always up and down in line with your eating habits around your cycle. I know I'm a man, but give it a try. Give it a try for a month, give it a try for 2 months and see if your PMS symptoms, cramping, energy over the whole cycle, and see if you actually train more in that time. Because if it works, it was worth a watch. Send this to your partner to help them understand your cycle too.